welcome to The Delight of Composition. I'm Timothy W. McDunn. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're going to write a brief composition etude using what are called maximally even rhythms. Get out your staff paper and compose along with me at home. The passage we composed together in the episode on set multiplication actually uses what are called second-order maximally even rhythms. Maximally even rhythms actually show up all over contemporary music, from Jesse Montgomery to Ligeti to Radiohead. To compose maximally even rhythms, all you need to know how to do is to round decimals to the nearest whole number. That's it. Anyone can compose. Let's divide a span of time evenly into 12 units. You mean like 12/8? Like 12/8. Now let's divide the same span of time evenly into 5 units. My brain! These will be our rhythmic onsets. So like the sounds we actually hear. Like the sounds that we actually hear. Round these to the nearest eighth note in 12/8. And congrats, you've written a maximally even rhythm. Alternatively, you could round all the onsets up or all the onsets down. You'll get the same results. It's called maximally even because out of all the potential ways you could space out 5 onsets in 12/8, this has the highest average distance between any 2 onsets. For my little etude, I'm going to write 3 maximally even rhythms. I'll use this one that divides 12 by 5, and this one that divides 13 by 5, and this one which divides 17 by 7. I'm picking patterns where the number of onsets is co-prime with the number of beats. Co-prime means they share no common factors. Otherwise, the rhythm will be made up of a smaller repeating pattern. What's to stop us from taking one of these maximally even rhythms and dividing up the onsets themselves in a maximally even way? Nothing but our own inhibition. I'm just going to divide up these 5 onsets now into 3 maximally even accents. This is called second-order maximal evenness.
Whoa, dude.
For some variety, let's rotate that accent pattern around the onsets. Every time the pattern repeats, we'll move all of the accents forward by 1 onset. When an accent passes the last onset in the pattern, it goes back to the beginning. I'm just going to do this with all 3 patterns, turning them into second-order maximally even rotating accent patterns. Now let's place the 3 patterns on top of each other. Since they each have a different duration, they'll create a phase pattern. I think I'll align them so that they all synchronize on a downbeat at the end of the etude. Each of these 3 patterns has 3 different types of sound: an accented sound, an unaccented sound, and silence. I'm going to expand each pattern into 3 voices, such that wherever an accent originally fell, there are 3 onsets. Wherever an unaccented sound fell, there are 2 onsets. Wherever silence originally fell, there is 1 onset. It'll sound like this. Let's do this to all 3 rotating accent patterns and layer them on top of each other little by little. Just because each voice feels like a different meter doesn't mean we have to notate it that way. This Bartók string quartet is notated in 3/8, but the violins are playing a canon that feels like 3/4 against the 3/8 feel in the cello and viola. Some composers notate polymeter with different meters in each voice. That kind of stresses me out, so I'm going to just put everything in a meter I think is practical. We'll start with the 17/8 idea, then layer in the 12/8 idea, then layer the 13/8 idea on top of that. For the young men listening, it's always a good idea to dedicate your composition to a beautiful woman. What else could we do with maximally even rhythms? What if we played with the number of eighth notes in the phase patterns? What would third order maximal evenness sound like? What would it sound like if we contrasted maximally even rhythms with perfectly even or uneven ones? Be sure to share your own composition etude for unpitched percussion on the Delight of Composition landing page. Link in the doobly-doo.